cool. Why isn't my camera? Oh, yeah, this might make a difference. Happy Tuesday, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good to see you all. Commodore Chronicles, Pulpo, what's going on? See, I won't be needing the HDMI cap tonight. I'll turn that off. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. It's been a day. I'm sort of lagging, but I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, even though I'm a bit early. And got a lot of work to do. Gonna be messing about tonight with this guy. Oh, hey, there's the overhead cam. This is, of course, the BBC Master that spent some time with previously in the old place. Got it mostly working, but it won't load. Well, it won't load Prince of Persia, which is, like, you know, the biggest reason to have this machine. No, I'm kidding, but. Hey, Jelly Be Good, thank you so much for the tier 3 subscription on a 22-month streak. That is very awesome of you. Thank you so much. It is not 7 yet. I'm getting a jump on things. So welcome everyone. How y'all doing? Granny's Garden. Well, Granny's Garden runs fine on the blasted thing. That doesn't need the upper memory. I don't really know what's up with it, but I figure it's probably something to do with the RAM, because the thing that won't load, Prince of Persia, it's a game that is pretty well known to require like every last bit of the machine's memory. So I'm thinking to do a thing I've never done before, which is test the RAM. So where is it? There it is. Aha. Well, I actually need to open this off camera because it's still got addresses on it. During the move, I loaned out my chip tester to a friend, and it is back, so it's time to work. I figure what I'm going to do is actually yank the RAM chips off the board and go ahead and test them in my trusty Chip Tester Pro. Yeah, there we are. The witch sent him home, yeah. I don't know what the witch would do to the Prince of Persia, really, but... Alright, so, got the chip tester. I looked around trying to find some programs designed to test all the RAM in a master. I found some programs that were designed to test in a BBC Model B, which is only a 32K machine. Obviously this is 128, not going to work, so I figured, screw the software, just going to yank the chips and test them in this chip tester here. They are 4-bit wide DRAMs, 4464s, so only 4 chips to pull. Should be able to do it. Got the handy dandy, if I can disentangle all of the tubing and cables. So we've got the vacuum gun. First time I've used this in the new space, so it's probably jammed up like crazy. You know, probably have to spend half the stream just futzing with the vacuum gun to get it to work, but you know how it is. Let's see, just make sure everything is going okay. Yes, that's all looks good. Great, wonderful. So how's everyone doing out there? Any fun retro stuff over the weekend? Any fun projects to talk about? Sure, I've got all my stuff here. Yes, thank you, little phone. Oh, I need to make sure I have the. This thing has the most annoying power connector. It is a USB-A female device connector, which is against the spec. So I need to find what I did with my good. It's thoroughly cursed. Good USB A to A. Okay, camera. Now's the point at which we drag out the Logitech software and lock your focus down. Actually, I completely rewrote the DMA engine, the PicoGus. Accidentally. Alright. Autofocus now disabled. Alright, let's see. right. That looks pretty good right there. We're going to leave you right there. Troubleshooting audio over USB. Not an audio interface one. Yeah, I had a lot of problems with audio interfaces. I eventually had to ditch the one that I bought for the stream. I bought a PreSonus, very nice interface, but it's just, if there was more than one audio device plugged into any USB port, it just freaked the hell out. My other USB audio device is fine, but yeah, so in the end I just got a different device. Those things are a pain in the butt. Alright, so I need the USB-A cable, which I think is over here. This is my drawer where I keep most of my longer USB cables. Not seeing it. Should have done this before I went live. Oh well. You'll get to watch me dig through crates here for a little bit then. Is this it? No, these are all perfectly normal uncursed cables. Where's the cursed one? It's like, if I were a cursed USB cable, where would I be? Oh, wait. I think I know what I did. Now, all the audio interfaces I tried have not bonded with this laptop. Focusrite, PreSonus, Behringer, UA. Oh, that's a bummer. I know that I know from working at a company that made embedded stuff for a little while that some USB chips really have a tough time with what's known as isochronous mode, which is the thing that real-time devices need to be in. I separated out a bunch of USB... maybe they're in here. Yeah, this looks like it. Hey, Arcade Shopper, how you doing? Ryzen 3000 series specific issue. Okay, that could be the integrated stuff there, yeah. Alright. I'm okay. I think I've hopefully found my cursed USB cable that I need to power my device tester. Hopefully it's in here. Maybe it's not. Yeah, This is it. This is it. I found it. USB A to A. Such a cursed cable. Yeah, all my cable boxes. Alright, so got everything I need to do that. Now it's time, I guess, just to yank these chips. Plug this into my USB power supply. I got one of those, I think I showed this off before. I got one of these USB power meters right here. It shows voltage and current, so I can know when USB things are acting up and when my power supplies are not supplying the power that I thought they were supplying. That's bitten me far too often. Alright, first thing to do, I suppose, is get the blasted thing open. I should have a sheet down to protect this thing. What did I do with it? Here we go. Just about big enough. This will do. It's pretty scuffed up already, honestly. It's not a whole lot more case damage I can do to this thing by sliding it around my desk, but... make the effort anyway. Ginormous screws on this thing. It's like, does your vintage computer have a screw this big and tough in it? I don't think so. No, probably not going to lose these screws. Though I might try. I might still try. Alright, should just lift off at this point. Yeah, okay, here we go. Case is a little beat up, but still. Now, before I go any further, I should do the thing that I always forget to do, which is make sure it works before I start tinkering with it again. Hey, Ping! How's it going? Welcome in, Ping and Raiders. How's your evening? How have you been? What was your stream doing on? We're looking at the BBC Master 128 here tonight with some more repair. How's it going, Steps? All right.
Oh, fucking 10 to 1. Yeah, whatever.
Streaming from a real arcade cabinet. Nice. Oh, excellent. No, definitely not Rainbow Islands. Still a decent game, though. Still a decent game. Well, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Thank you so much. I don't have any real arcade stuff, although I used to be a volunteer tech at the local arcade, and I sometimes still stop in. They actually sent an email today to all the staff and volunteers. They're moving. They're moving from basically this warehouse district of town to pretty much right off our downtown mall. That's going to be hopefully really good for their business. So I hope that works out well for them. Big move, though. Like, over 100 machines to move, I think. So I'll have to see if I can help them out on one of their big move parties. All right, so we're gonna see if we can get the. I forget whether the RetroTink can deal with the signal from the BBC Master. Let's find out. All right. Yep, okay, good. It works. Yay. And there was much rejoicing. Okay, cool. So, oh, I have a Gotek around here. I'll have to hook that up in order to boot the Prince of Persia game. But for now, it's time to take this thing apart and get to the board so we can desolder the RAM chips, which are... Oh, speaker's disconnected. That's why it didn't boot bip at me. I was worried there for a minute. Anyway, these are the 4 RAMs. They are Toshiba's 41464s, 120 nanosecond. So, yep, it's time to take this thing apart. That I need a smaller driver for. Chat not want to load on the phone. Oh. Well, thank you so much for the raid. You missed the shout out. We saw you playing some Donkey Kong on the arcade. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope your stream went well this evening. Whoops. One of these screws has a little plastic washer. I'm not sure if it's really necessary, but it's there, so whatever. Okay, so actually there's no need to have the RetroTink up right now, because it's got to disassemble this machine. All right, keyboard off. Over there. and disconnect a million freaking power cables from the main board. And the CMOS, so I'll have to reset the CMOS when I turn it back on. But it's good to see that the CMOS settings held from the last time I used this machine before my move, because it booted up in the correct mode and everything. That's good to see. Alright. I'm going to check the voltage on the battery too while I'm here. So originally the BBC Micro had 3 separate power rails. And it's because it was designed as a linear supply. And so they had 3 separate linear regulators running 3 separate 5-volt rails. That power supply, as I understand, had a tendency to actually catch fire. So they redid it with a switching power supply, but they didn't redesign the main board, so they still had to supply power to the 3 separate power zones on the machine. That was all done at the behest of the BBC, who didn't want to deal with switching power supply noise. 3.6 volts. Yep, that looks good. There's a possibility that it could have been drawing excess power from the CMOS battery in storage, and if something needed repair there, so I wanted to check. All right, next thing I need to do is get these cartridge connectors all have screws. Thank you for that factoid, Amiga Gamer. All right, one last screw. So the main board frame is screwed into the power supply frame back here. This machine really does need some physical attention after I get it electrically right. Lot of rust on this back plate. Unfortunately, the damned thing is riveted to this back plate, so I can't just unscrew it and, treat it for rust. I'm gonna have to drill these rivets out to get it away from the board enough to treat it for rust. Super annoying. I went back as an adult to do some work and looked at the asbestos surveys. Eek. No, you cannot have fiber cable there. Yeah. Alright. Unplug the power. Yes, I did all this without disconnecting the mains. Shame on me. Set you aside. Alright, and we got these 3 4464s right here and up. So one, two, three. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, this one's right next to one of the other chips. Yep, okay, good. I'm going to do one bit and mark these. I'm going to turn on my... Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Repair C64 or C128. I have repaired both of those, in fact. My Commodore 64C, it needed new RAM And one of the CIAs is also dead. Right, so I'm going to mark these with a little flux. I think I'm going to go through and add solder to these guys before attempting to desolder. I feel like a board this old is I'm gonna need as much help as I can get getting these parts off. Yeah, let's see. I did those before I was streaming. You know, on stream I've done stuff to Sinclair Spectrums. Worked on a couple of Tandy 100s. That's probably my biggest part of my collection is Tandy 100s. What else have we worked on this stream? Trying to think. You guys will have to remind me all the machines I've had open. I don't think I had to do anything to the Amstrad. The Model B needed power supply work, so we refitted that power supply. But yeah, I work on a lot of machines. That's, in my opinion, the best way to get a good vintage computer collection is to get them in questionable state and fix them up. All right, I got some 6337. I don't actually need to use 6337. I can use the cheaper 6040. There we go. Oh, and let's not forget fume extractor. All right, let's see if I can zoom in. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. That's a little bit better. Okay, extractor's working. Clean off my iron. And I'm just kind of like drag soldering down these terminals just to add some fresh stuff to them. All right. Hey, no problem. No problem, Ping. Thanks so much for the raid. And once again, I hope I'm making a reasonable approximation of your handle there. And yeah, thanks so much. Fixing the BBC fixing. Yep. 10 pounds of chips in a 5-pound bag. Yeah, okay, not bad. Acorn were able to get the timings right. Yeah, this machine has a legacy, that's for sure. All right, now I want to see what the state of my vacuum gun is here. Oh, was the raid your suggestion steps? Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, all right. This thing is cruddy as all get out. I'm gonna try and find another filter before I dig into this thing. I think I have one. Yeah, okay. Yes, I have another supply of filters. Come on, get in there. This is the one thing I hate about this vacuum gun, is it is such a pain in the butt to get this chamber back together. Alright, that looks good. Now we'll go ahead and heat it up. Which also I should have done before the stream, but alright. So I'm gonna try running it at 350. See how that does. Fortunately, it takes like 5 or 6 minutes for this vacuum gun to heat up. Flying by the seat of my pants tonight. That looks good. Oh, I can try and find my dip extractor while I'm waiting. Took me most of the stream last time to find my PLCC extractor. To get the... Oh no, wait, that was something else. But yeah, I lost my PLCC extractor for a while, and now I think I've lost my dip extractor too. Yeah, not seeing it. Well, alright, might have to, Oh, I know what we'll do. I'll just use the chip lifter on it tonight, because I got one of these guys. Also, so I'll use that to get rid of the chips tonight. Find my dip extractor later. It's a lousy dip extractor, honestly, anyway. I should really get a better one. Should also get a better static strap. This thing is super loose. Alright. Also taking the watch off at this point. Hey, Texas Foosballer, how's it going? How's your evening? Alright. Vacuum gun is nice and hot. I'm going to crank up the fume extractor again. See how this does. That is jammed, I can tell. There we go. And that's how we unjam the solder gun. Still doesn't sound great. But let's see if it sucks any better. Yeah, not bad. When they installed this, I guess when they installed it, they cut the legs of these chips super short. It's really hard to get the vacuum gun over top of them. Alright. That's one chip. I'm going to take a break there for a second and see how this process is going. That one's still attached, I can feel it. So you need to put a little bit more solder on that guy. Actually, both of these probably. And try again. It's generally pretty pointless if you get one of these. If you don't get one of these joints right the first time, it's generally pretty pointless to try again without adding more solder, because there's nothing to pull a vacuum. If you add fresh solder, then the solder will block the air and you can pull a vacuum. Alright. I think that worked. Yeah. Alright. Let's see, is our chip loose? Alright. There we go. Sometimes you can break them loose from the top side too. Alright, I can feel it, it's free. Alright, got it. See if you can see that. Very short little legs. So I'm going to take the pliers here and reshape them. So hopefully this is not a Sid tune. I threw all my Rob Hubbard into the playlist tonight without realizing that I had some non-Sid Rob Hubbard tunes in there. From the Hotel for Cocoa Fest. Hey, Curtis. Things are going good. We just extracted the first of 4 DRAMs from this BBC Master. I'm gonna give it a quick test in the Backbit chip tester. All right. So this is actually causing my USB power supply to power cycle. That's suboptimal. Let me get a different one here. Try this. Yay, that's better. Alright. So, go in here. We're going to look at RAM. I'm going to select the... This display is rather slow. Um, 628, 128, 128K. No, it's going to be a 40, 41464, so 4 bits by 64 kilobits. $44.64. There we are. All right, yes, 32K. Select. All right, negative at position 48. Get my jumper leads here. This is a great Rob Hubbard tune, though, even if it's not a SID. All right. Position 9. Positive. Whoops, I've switched the color code. Oh well. Alright, ready to test. It's been so long since I've used this, I gotta remember how to do it. Alright, the arrow says the chip faces this way. Test. Ran past. Alright, let's give one more test. NHL hockey theme. Now, I don't actually have much SID stuff. SID is really not my favorite chip, as evidenced by the fact that I have all these Poke tunes in there. Alright, good RAM chip. We will set you aside. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull them all, and then I'll just have to decide whether I want to socket them and reinstall them, or reinstall them bare. I think I have sockets, but socketing chips that have already been soldered can sometimes be problematic, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, next chip. These legs. Hate them. Whoops, missed one on this side. Alright, that one I can tell I didn't get it. That's better. Rob Hubbard's Sega Genesis tune. Well, the last one we heard was actually an Atari tune. If that's what you meant, the Jet Set Willy. Which is the best thing about that game. It was a terrible game on Atari. Not a fan of any of the systems it was released for. Yeah, okay. Alright. I'm just gonna go for it and try and pull the rest of the chips while I got the gun running. Last pin. All right. Yeah, that's the problem I actually have with a lot of Spectrum games, is that whole pixel perfect platforming thing. Turn the board a little so I can try and get under these pins. Looks like I missed one. This guy right here, also on a big ground plane. Or maybe power rail, I can't be sure. Actually, I've already turned the gun off. I'm going to try and hit this with the SSO2 and see if that does it. Actually, that might have done. Let's see. No, don't pull that chip. That's not a RAM, Josh. That's, yeah, okay, that seems to have done. Yep. This guy, however, doesn't want to budge. Alright, I broke something loose there. There we go. Got it. Get those little sweat joints in there. Chip doesn't want to go anywhere. Okay. That. I could feel that guy break loose. Yep, got it. Yay. And there was much rejoicing. Hello, friend. How are you, Lady Aileros? Space Wizard Shores. That sounds like a video game. It doesn't help that I started the fun early, either. So we've got one of the 4 chips here tested. Let's set that one aside. So I got these 3 left to test. Alrighty. We puts the static strap back on. And we grabs the tester. Alright. Ram past. Whoops. Trigger the test with no chip in there. Is there a socket for 6309? Actually, Curtis, yes, there is a socket for 6309. Because this guy right here, I think it is the tube socket. And this is for a secondary processor, and I believe 6309 was an option for the second processor on the BBC. What I have to go in there is a Pi tube. So a Raspberry Pi emulating a variety of other CPUs. It's one of the very cool things about the Beeb. And I can't wait to get that fired up once I get this thing. Once I get this thing 100% itself, then I'll start adding on all the other stuff like the RGB to HDMI and the tube, the Gotek, all the things that you want to have on a modern Beeb. SuperPet had a 6809, wasn't aware of the BBC. Now I'm not 100% sure that the 6309 was an option on that. There's some Beeb experts in my chat, then someone can maybe correct me. But there were a lot of different options, and including some CPUs even more obscure than the 6809. Let me finish straightening the legs. So, what do y'all think? Are these going to go back into a socket properly, or are we going to have to solder them back in? Guess it depends on the socket. I'll have to see what I have. Let's see what sort of sockets I'm equipped with. This might be a case where I put flat pins like this into a machine pin turn socket. Alright, so drop this chip in here. All right, test. Yeah, okay. Passed. Okay, good. Watch all these RAMs perfectly fine, and there's some other weird problem with the decoding logic in this machine. This machine tests my patience. It's gonna go down in my book like the basket case Atari 400 did. All right, 3 out of 4. Let's try number 4. Passed. Okay. Well, all right. That's good and annoying all at the same time. All right. Well, first thing to do is get these pads cleaned up so we can solder either a socket or the chips. And oh, I've never gotten any cleaning supplies out on this bench since I moved here. So y'all have to bear with me just a moment while I go grab some cotton buds and stuff. All right. Of course, I don't know what I did with the container I usually keep them in. I'll find it eventually. Hey, Murph guy, what's going on? How are you on this fine day? Things are going on. Oh, maybe one of my mods can give Murph guy a shout out. He's actually streamer, been doing some oh, this is embarrassing. I can't even remember what I was watching you stream the other day. But it was fun. I just don't remember the name of the game. All right, flip this over, go with the back side.
Okay. Is this? No fighting in the house.
Yes, Spider-Man.
Oh, look at Cerberus. Hello. Oh. You can pet Cerberus.
Hades, I've never heard of that. Alright, in the meantime, I've lost the pads I'm meant to clean. Here we are. All that flux residue. Get off of their flux. Roguelite action game. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for shouting out, Murph Guy, Amiga Gamer. I appreciate that. hands full of cleaning supplies at the moment. That's the only, well, I was about to say it's the only problem. It's not the only problem, but it's one of the problems with this new stream setup, is my keyboard is way over there. Instead of, you know, right here as it was on my old setup. But anyway, all right. So, pad's all cleaned. Oh, need to see what we've got for sockets. Alright, might just have to grab the whole flipping box. Yeah, Stream Deck is a spend I don't really want to make, but I know they are super useful. Alright, here we are. It's time to dig into the box of components. Alright, massive things like this can go find a home on the shelf. Oh, nice. Right, replacement chips. Starting to think they're not in here. Thought I had some small tubes of socket. I might still. They just might not be in here. Well, alright. Let's see. Alright, I'm looking for, I think this is the wrong size. Yes, that is the wrong size. That will do me no good. This will do me less good, because it has even less pins. No. Alright. Nope, missing one. So it appears I may have 0 of the sockets that I need, which makes the question of whether or not to socket them relatively simple. No. The pin headers. Alright, well, you know what? I think the question has been answered. We just resolder them. Just fine. Totally fine. Alright, I gotta remember which way they go in. Where's my chip lifter? That's a good tool for reinserting them as well. Here we are. All right. This must be Spellbound. That's one of my favorite SIDs. Once this playlist starts looping too much, I can nuke it. Come on. Yeah, I've heard Age Mixer enough now. One of these pins must be really badly aligned. I can't see anything. On goes the super magnification. What am I doing wrong? I think the answer is the pins on this side are just spread a little much. I'm going to bend them down. If you've ever done this, you just put it on your bench and make sure you give it a good even bend. Get those legs bend back in so they go into sockets or pads more easily. Okay, that's in. This. Come on. There's actually a little wall of solder right here. I'm going to try and just pick up with the iron. Good enough. I'm probably blocking the camera really badly. I'm sorry. Not really any better way to get in here. Okay, that one was way easier. This one is not way easier. Come on. There we go. All right, there we go. Now, I need to look at it. Thanks, Murph. Look at it real closely and make sure I didn't bend any pins out and that they all went into the appropriate holes in the pads. All right, that looks good. And from the underside, make sure there are legs in all the holes. I've watched too many videos where someone removes or installs a chip and gets one of the legs bent out. The chip doesn't make full contact, and then you've got what you think is a perfectly good chip causing problems, and it takes forever for you to circle back around to look over the work you did and realize that you goofed it up, and you just waste hours and hours debugging. All right, back with the fume extractor. And I'm just going pin by pin here. I'm not drag soldering. I'm trying to do a half decent job at this. These legs are so short. All right. Nope. So I got 1.5 chips left to go. All right, last chip. I really would like to get a camera where you can actually see a little more detail on what I'm doing when I'm doing the soldering. I have a USB microscope. It's just a very small thing with no display. And if I could get that mounted properly, that would probably do the job. I have to look into finding some way to get that thing mounted on an arm like my current overhead camera. Alright, I'll go back through and inspect everything. If there's any joints I need to touch up, like this guy. Always take plenty of time to double check your soldering work. Don't feel like you have to be the world's fastest solderer. I certainly am not. Alright, that looks good. Fume extractor out of the way. Okay, now should be able to give this thing a test. Unfortunately, owing to the way the power supply is integrated into the case, and the fact that it won't boot without the keyboard attached, you pretty much have to put the whole thing back together before you can test whether or not your repair was successful. Which is mildly annoying, but oh well. And of course, reattach 50 gazillion cables back to the board. All right, there we go. A little bit little bit fiddly to reattach. Not gonna bother putting any screws in. Let's just get the power leads reattached. All right. Red is 5 volt. They're labeled 5 volts DC and 0 volts DC. Five volt B, 0 volts B. All right. It's actually labeled 0 volts C. So there's A, B, and C. This A, B, and C power rails, and this is the -5. Which I guess is probably serial or audio or something like that that usually takes negative voltage. All right, the 0 volts is kind of destroyed from previous corrosion. But whoops, I just put the positive on the negative. Don't do that, Josh. All right, there's the 5, there's the 0. And they're all in the same orientation too, which is nice. Nice and sane. All right. Now it's back together. Zoom out a little bit here. Find Mr. Keyboard. Cool. And go ahead and plug the CMOS battery back in too. All right. Video cable. This is a homemade one, so it's kind of flimsy. All right, now get you out of the way so I can plug the mains cable in. That's off. Yeah, that's off. All right. And back over to the RetroTink. We're still on RGB. Yes. Okay, good. Hold on to your butts. Yay. Okay. Well, it looks like probably didn't make it worse, so that's good. Okay. Yeah. The RetroTink is not super happy with weird video modes, but it's operational. Kind of. Actually, I wonder how the Medusa would do on this. I'm gonna give that a shot. Bear with me 1 moment. Substitution. RetroTink out. Medusa in. Okay. Yeah, the Medusa doesn't scale the same way the RetroTink does, so my capture setup isn't super happy with it. I wonder if I can change the capture to 576p. Sim 2576. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I had the same problem last time. Oh well, close enough. All right, there we go. Not as stable because of the interlaced signal. The deinterlacing on the RetroTink is really nice. But yeah, this one does handle the extended modes better. Yeah, all right, cool. All right. Wonder if I can actually manage to load something from it. Well, all right. Before I go any further, I'm going to take... All right, these are the Gotex. Somehow I have managed to come up with 2 Gotex. I didn't realize I had 2 on hand, but that's nice because Gotex are expensive. But what I'm really looking for... Oh, it's probably in here. Is it? Yes. Looking for the Master SD cartridge. Because this does the job of the MMFS boards that you would use on a Model B. But on this one, you can use it right here in the cartridge slot. Now, unfortunately, my card is not packed in with it, so... UC micros are insanely difficult to repair. Hey, Retro Gaming Denmark, how you doing? Yes, they are. I have had so much fun with this machine. So much fun. Did I throw the SD card into the box with all the stuff? That would have been the smart thing to do, which almost guarantees that I did not do that. No, the rest of this I think is just Spectrum stuff. Might just have to grab another random card and throw some files on it. Doesn't look like I have one that's pre-made for the BBC. I know I used to, back when I was messing with this machine last time, but who knows what I've actually done with it. Hey, Antaeus, how's it going? Real fun or sarcastic fun, yeah. Oh, real sarcastic fun. Really sarcastic fun, I think is the answer. Yes, I do rather own a lot of UK systems. I think 6 of them at last count. Yeah, so I've got two Amigas. Those are both UK machines. I have 2 Spectrums. Those are obviously UK machines. Amigas could go either way, but these particular machines are PAL UK models. And so 2 Amigas, 2 Spectrums, 2 BBCs, that's 6. Oh, and an Atari ST, which also could go both ways, but mine's a PAL model. My Commodore 64 is been converted to PAL, so it wasn't actually a UK machine, so I don't think I get to count that one. Do it live is exactly what we're going to have to do here, because I got to check what's on this SD card. Luckily, it's still pretty easy with the setup. And it wants me to format it. So, this must be a Raspberry Pi card. What is this thing? It's an 8 gig card. That wouldn't be a Raspberry Pi. I wouldn't make a Pi image out of an 8 gig card, I don't think. Told you only Beeb in December, he hadn't turned it on in years. Aw, that's a shame. But I mean, it's not a shame. If a machine's just taking up space, not giving you joy, there's no reason to hang on to it. Clock out early. Good luck. Thanks, Lady Aileros. I hope your head feels better. Metro rule: if you don't use it, you must sell it. Yeah. Does definitely. Lurking while you've been working. Notice it's 1 a.m. All right, Antaeus. Everyone's here headed off. Yeah. Oh, just tired. Okay, good. Well, yeah. Get some sleep. Lady Aileros and Antaeus, get some sleep. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you all as always. Let's see here. Come on. Is my machine crashing? No, it's just this Explorer. No. Yes, fine. Format it. You really want to format it? Format it. I don't know what was on this thing before, but it's gone now. So now I need to find my BBC. So I think the way this one works, and the way a lot of these MMC devices work, is that you need to have a single file that contains a whole bunch of disk images encapsulated within it. And it's kind of a pain in the butt. Not my favorite way of maintaining these sorts of things. I wish I could just throw individual disk images on there. Unfortunately, that ain't the way it works. All right, so here are, so beeb.mmb, it's a 100 meg file, and it contains a whole bunch of SSD files embedded in it. Yeah, so I have the MMC device. I have the user port MMC on for my Model B, but for the master, I picked up the Master SD, which you can see here-ish if I can find my mouse. Where's my mouse? Paging Mr. Mouse. Okay, there we are. Benchcam. Yeah, so that's the Master SD takes care of that on this machine, and it's kind of nice because it provides its own work RAM, whereas the Turbo MMC on the BBC B needs to take some system RAM for its work RAM. So this doesn't occupy any RAM, which is kind of nice because it's built into the cartridge. So let's see if I can get this thing working. Let's see if we can boot a game. Signal out of range. Yeah, Medusa strikes again. Curses. I don't know why it would be out of range. It's a fairly normal signal, I think. One point 0.17 firmware. All right, DVI 720 by 576. 50 hertz. That shouldn't be a problem. I need a better capture device. This capture device I have, it's inexpensive and it's high quality, but it's really picky about its video signals. So, all right, we'll go back to the RetroTink. You see my grid, the strangest RGB out, so many awkward voltages. Yeah, I think I've got this cable set up to where it takes care of that. I mean, because I can see it. The thing is, what you all were seeing with the not recognized, I'm not seeing that on my bench monitor. I have a monitor here underneath my computer monitor, and this one was showing the picture just fine out of the Medusa. It's just that my capture device was not happy with what the Medusa was putting out. But this is fine. I do, however, need to go back to RT5X mode. There we go. So now, all right, I think I can, so this is ADF, DFS. I need to switch to the ROM in here. How do I do that? Anyway, ROMs. Master MMFS. All right. So I have to somehow switch over to the MMFS. Come on. Is that it? No. All right, one of you Beeb folks, remind me how I switched to the ROM in the Master SD. I might have to go look this up. This is a problem with machines I don't use enough. BBC Master SD introduction. All right. Oh, that's the main MMFS, which is fine, but I need to remember how to switch to the ROM on the Master SD. Acorn BBC Micro Model B Master Games. No. SD to BBC. No. That's a nice device, but it's not what I'm trying to find here. Acorn ROM cartridge. Well, all right. 26 pounds plus postage and packing for a ROM cart. That's not bad either. Doesn't help me figure out what I'm trying to figure out. Can we find? No, I really mean Master SD. I really mean, there it is, Master SD. Here's the site for it. I'll throw that out there for anyone who's interested. Star MMFS. God, someone. Star MMFS. Aha. Maybe. Let's power cycle it. Okay. Deboot 0. No, not deboo. Ah, okay, great. Now we're in there. All is important. Paper under the transparent. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I need to do. Retro gaming and Mark. All right. So now, yeah, there's the retro tank being not happy with the video signal out of the Beeb. I think I can tweak that. Oh, no, wait, nope, that's not it. I want to go into video ADC. There it is. Okay. Yeah, tell it to sync a little differently. Yay. Now this isn't going to boot the game in question because these are all, well, not all, but mostly BBC B games. A little Airwolf. See if I can get some sound going on here. I'm going to unmute this HDMI capture. Hopefully it won't be too noisy. Oh, Lord, this video signal, super unhappy. Super unhappy. There we go. You just basically have to get in there and screw with the numbers until the frickin' RetroTink gets it right. I should save a preset for this. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Oh, look, all the slots are empty. Cool. That's not what I want. I think it's because when you upgraded the firmware, it wiped out all your save slots. So many things I love the RetroTink 5X, but there's so many things I don't love about the RetroTink 5X. All right. I don't have joysticks or anything attached. All right. What I need to do though. So the machine's working. Machine's working. What I need to do is get in here and get the Gotek attached, and see about booting off of that. So the way I have to go about this, I'm trying to think if I should just put the machine back together at this point. If it's, because the last thing I'm thinking is that, all right, if it's not the RAM that's causing the program to fail, could it be the disk controller? Could it be loading poorly off of the Gotek because of a problematic disk controller? A disk controller chip is this WDC 1770 down here, and I don't have any way of testing that other than finding a dupe and popping it in, see if there's any difference. So given the time, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this machine back together because I don't want to leave it in too many pieces on the bench, because pieces left on the bench have a tendency to wander away and never be seen again. So we will put you back in there. These go into the cartridge ports. These are screwed into plastic, so always make sure that you walk the screw backwards till it drops into the threads, so you know you're not cutting new threads into plastic. There we go. Oh, sorry. Could be giving you something better to watch. Found that one right away. All right, now that all four are engaged, I'll tighten it down finally. And now, keyboard. This case is just barely held together. It's so brittle. It's cracked in so many places. I'd love to get a replacement case, but something tells me A1200.net isn't going to make a replacement BBC Master case. It would be cool if they did. All right. Yeah, when is the Kickstarter for replacement BBC cases? I think that's everything. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to think. If my 32K, where is my BBC B? I think my B is in one of those tubs behind me. Yeah, I don't recall having any problems with that one. This, and it could just be this particular case. It's been, weathered to the point that it's just exceptionally brittle. But all of these little pieces, not all of them, but a lot of them have broken off, and some have broken off, and I've rebonded them with ABS glue, basically solvent glue. So it's lost. It's all these screw, like this screw post right here is almost completely gone. Again, I've rebonded as much of that as I could, but it's just so brittle. And it could just be this particular case. Maybe others are fine. Hey, One Man Conga, how's it going? It's plastic. Yeah, this is all plastic. All right. Plug this to make it a little easier to flip over. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it on its side and get the floppy cable connected to the disk drive. It's sort of down here. There we are. There's the disk drive port. All these ports underneath. So the user port, this is where the Turbo MMFS card would go on a Model B. And the tube port up here that's off camera, where the second processor goes. All right. Okay, that's the disk drive attached. Data cable anyway. And this thing has an aftermarket power supply. It's just a Meanwell. And I have not connected the accessory power, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to supply power to the Gotek with my bench supply. Solid metal to plastic. Well, I mean the Model B, at least the Model B I have, was plastic as well. It was not metal. It's just like really solid plastic. You know, you could kill a guy with that plastic. Now they did have that metal stand, I think, that was designed to go over it and support a monitor. But every photo I've ever seen of the BBC in a school just had a Cub monitor propped up on the back of it. Wasn't on a stand. I mean, it's not really that substantially different from the school computers in the United States, like the Apple II. You know, here I've got one right here. It's pretty chunky plastic, but plastic nonetheless. You know, if I pull this thing out, you can kind of see it's a little bit reinforced on this edge here, but that's some very thick plastic right there. Meaties after that. Yeah. These were definitely big school machines in the UK. The US, you know, we had mostly the Apple II, like I showed, and also some schools had Tandies. Some schools had Commodore PETs. You know, pretty much all three of the 77 Trinity managed to weasel their way into some schools. Now, what do I do with the Gotek? This one, yeah, right. I can see the solder where I flashed this one to flash floppy. This one I think has has M0 strapped, so this should be okay. I do have to find the disk image. Your school had 5150s. Oh wow. That is not a thing I've seen before. A school that started off with real IBMs. Nope, that is not the drive I thought it was. Maybe it's this one. Let's go ahead, PC Juniors. Yeah. My school had, when it got its first PCs, it got, what am I trying to say? It got PS2s, particularly PS2 Model 25s. If anyone's familiar with that, the sort of all-in-one. Yes, kill it all. Go away. Fortunately, better later keyboards are important for typing class. Oh my god, typing class on a PC Junior. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. All right. Astra Blaster and Prince of Persia. Eject. I said eject. Stupid Windows. I'm gonna yank the drive. I'm yanking the drive. You had your chance. All right. Now, last thing I need to find was that power cable. Here we are. So I'm gonna crank up the bench power supply. US1 was school games with Oregon Trail, Carmen, San Diego. Yeah. Yeah. All right, 5 volts, 200 milliamps ought to do. It's just a Gotek. That's quite some phenomenon that the U.S. Eduware stuff didn't make it to the U.K. and y'all wound up with Granny's Garden. All right, that's connected. All right, I'm gonna turn on the power to the Gotek. All right, Gotek looks happy. Let's power up the BBC. Oh, right. With the video cable disconnected, it's a surprisingly bad picture. One of these is the RGB port. Oh my god. Hey, thanks, Ian. Have a good dinner. And I will catch you around on the Discords. Looking forward to trying out your new experimental firmwares, as always. All right. Video cable connected. It probably works a hell of a lot better. Okay. Oh man. Someone told me this on the last stream. How do you boot from a floppy? And I've completely forgotten. And it's something like shift break or control break or something like that. Yep, that's it. Okay, we've got Astra Blaster. Yay. Now I can plug in the audio cable too.
Fighter pilots needed in Sector Wars.
There we go.
Play Astra Blaster.
Nice. Had a computer room from 6th to 9th grade. Strangely, never used it. 85 to 88. Yeah. Yeah, I was mostly Apple II when I grew up. That sort of lab. All right. Reboot. I'll play with your own ZX or use the Macintosh at home. I can't blame you. All right. Booting. We're still loading. Yep, still loading. All right, press any key to continue. Turn that one. preview monitor. I can't remember if we got this far last time or not. Yeah, 128 only. I don't think we got this far last time. Maybe just touching up the solder joints was all it took. Master have a bigger palette? I don't think so. I think it had the exact same video chip. I think it just had more RAM. All right. Reloading. Yep. All right, I have no idea what the controls are. But it's working. Ah, Z and X. I should have known. Cool. No idea. No idea what made it go. But there it is. Whoops. It is really fast. This is much faster than I remember. It's much faster than Prince of Persia plays on any other system I've ever played. Action. Enter. Certainly much faster than I've ever seen it play on any other 8-bit. Which is... Now, see, I was just trying to turn around. There must be a way to inch your way over. It told me what the keys were. I should have read it. Cool. So, I have no idea what was wrong with the machine before, but I definitely was not able to work this out. Yeah, it's too fast. I'm gonna admit it. It's just too fast. Oh crap! I don't have a sword. I better get the hell out of here. This is like Prince of Persia speedrun mode. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there. It's been almost it'll be 2 hours in 8 seconds from now. So thanks for hanging out. I'm rather pleased to have the thing working, even though I have no idea what did it. But yeah, you can stop flashing at me. Thanks very much. So yeah, cool. Next step is going to be to take the Gotek and mount that internally. And because actually, let me go back up to the bench cam. You can see this bit right here is a thing that Gedge, who gave me the machine, printed on his nice resin printers. And this takes the LCD and the USB port and a rotary controller from a Gotek, and gives you just a Gotek. I think he mounts his board like in here somewhere, and you just plug the flash drive right in there, and you just have a built-in Gotek. So I want to get that done. This cable I will solder internally to provide power to the board. Or actually, if I'm installing it on board, I'll hardwire the power. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you all again as well, Retro Gaming Denmark. Thanks for stopping by. So this has been fun hanging with y'all. Thanks for being here. I'm slowly getting the hang of streaming from the new setup. It's a bit weird. Not used to everything, and maybe I will wind up investing in something like a Stream Deck or something to make it a little easier. But for the time being, it's working. Most importantly, I have tools accessible, and then just the ability to quickly show people what's actually going on. So I think before I invest in anything like that, I'm going to try and make the microscope mount work, because that would be really nice. It'll shoot from about maybe this high or something, and it'll be a much crisper view of what I'm actually doing with the soldering iron. So maybe I can come up with a mount. Maybe I can print a mount, because I have a 3D printer now hiding back there on the shelf. That's courtesy of Todd Gill from Retrofrog, actually. Super cool dude. Retrofrog, he makes a lot of vintage console and accessories and stuff, a lot of printed designs. This stand, the vertical stand I have for my retro tank is courtesy. It's from his shop. But anyway, yeah. So thanks for hanging out. I will see you all later. Maybe continuing on this next week. I never know what I'm going to do next week. But now before we go, let's see. Is there anyone cool on to raid? Oh, you know what? We're going to raid Sid. Sid looks like he's messing around with pinball. We're going to do that. So we're going to raid Sid Heresy. And we'll say hello to Sid. And see what he's up to. Have a lot of fun there. Thanks, everyone. I will see you all next week.